So what they're going to give you is something like this, where they tell you the focus of the parabola and the directrix. And so what we'll do is I always make a little sketch so I can decide whether it opens up or down. So let's see, y equals 2 is this line here. And we know the focus of this parabola is at -3, -2. So that tells me, I mean, I honestly don't know where it goes, but I know it looks something like this, right? And the reason I'm stopping here is because this distance and this distance is the focal length, it's called. It's the directly from the parabola, from the focus to the vertex, and then the distance from that distance here. This distance here will be the same as this distance here. Okay, so that's important. And then I know if you think about all that work you did in the lesson. Let's see. Let's find a different color. Let's go to whoops. Let me go here. Okay. And then we know this distance and this distance has to be the same anywhere on the parabola, right? So this distance from the focus to the parabola and the parabola to the vertex, the directrix has to be the same. And in the lesson, they have you do this thing with the distance formula, right? Well, there's an easier way to do this. And I'm going to show you the easier way. And it's kind of a pre-calculus idea, but I don't know why it's just a pre-calculus idea. But since we know that this distance and this distance is the same, that must be the vertex. I'm seeing that the vertex is at the point -3, 0. So if you think back to vertex form of a parabola, some number a, we don't know a, and then we'll do x plus 3 squared plus 0, because remember the hk of the vertex, hk of the vertex. So really, I don't need to write the plus the 0, because that's just 0, right? So we'll just ignore that. We'll simplify it. Now I got to figure out what a is. Well, it just so happens that there's this little formula that they don't tell you, that 1/4 times the focal length, p is usually used to represent the focal length, is going to be what a is. So since a is, let's see, it's coming down to, so that's the distance to 2, that's the focal length. We're going to write 1/4 times 2, or 1/8, will be a, and because this parabola opens down, I know it has to be -1/8. So that's the equation of the parabola that has those qualifications. Okay, that easy. You don't have to use that distance formula. Let's go try another one. So if you want, you can try this yourself and come back and watch it, or I'm just going to do it right now. So let's see. I'm going to make a little sketch here as usual. Let's see, x, y. We know the focus is at 3, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right up here. I know the directrix is at -2. So this tells me that this parabola opens up like this, because it's got to have the focus in the middle of it, and it's going to be equidistant to the, and I know the directrix is in the back of it. So I don't know if I'm quite right with that. Maybe I guess it's got to come down, because I know the directrix, the distance from the focus and the directrix needs to be equal. So this distance to that vertex has to be the same as this distance here. So let's see. I'm seeing a distance of, this is y equals -2. And this is the y is 6, so I'm seeing a distance of 8. So half of that will be 4. So the focal length, I'll go p, if you watched that earlier video. I know the focal length is 4, and that tells me the vertex is, well, let's see, it's at 3. And so if it's 4, it's going up 2. Then it's going to go up 2 more to have a distance of 4. And the x value is 3. So the vertex is at 2, I believe. Right? Because it's got to come up 4. So let's see what we can do. So I know the focal length is 1 over, so we know that A is 1 equals 4 times the focal length. So that's 1/16. So let's go to town here. This graph opens up, so I know A is positive. So y equals 1 over 16 times x minus 3 squared plus 2. And that should give us that graph. Much easier than doing all that distance formula stuff. The distance formula stuff works, but this is a lot easier. So remember that little formula to find A is 1 over 4 times the focal length, where I'm going to use P as the focal length. Okay, hopefully this helps you out.